Hello everyone, welcome to Eye of Africa. I am your host Aina Fadina. Today we're in Cape Town, South Africa, and we're going to be talking to Malcolm Kluk and Christian Gabriel du Toit.
That's perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, is it fair to say that you guys are one of the most successful labels based in Cape Town? Out of South Africa?
Well, there's lots of pressure.
No, it's not.
It's not slight bias to say that.
We'll take it from you.
Okay.
This store is really the culmination of all our experience of the past 10 years of what we need for our business. So a dedicated bridal fitting room, somewhere where a bride can try on clothes, a good place and good lighting to look at the clothes, and also our whole brand philosophy is about experience, and if the experience of buying the clothes is good and the experience of wearing the clothes is good, then people will return. Yeah, we wanted something that isn't it's most stores you go into are in shopping centers. It's like a conveyor belt. You just get tossed through the same kind of experience as our word, but you get tossed through the same experience where you go into the center. All the stores kind of look different, maybe the same, but the colors are different. There's a person sitting behind a desk. It's not welcoming, it's not warm, it's not conducive of creating relationships. And that's what we want to do here. We want to know who you are, we want to know what you like, and we want to work together.
I think important it was also to create something that it's almost like a destination store where you can come and have fun and relax in and have all these elements, and something that Malcolm and I always wanted to do was the homeware side and the decor side, and we've always dabbled into it but never really took it that serious. And then our customers would come and say, listen, but we love your style, we love your look, can we not have some of it? And I think that's why we also created this space where it's almost like you coming into our home, into our space, where we can give you a little bit of the creative life that we have and make it a reality, and you can be part of that.
Now, who's your woman?
It's such a difficult question to answer because it's more of a mindset. I think it's someone who is
confident,
traveled. She may be professional, but either at work or at home. She does things. She doesn't sit back. She also is a risk taker a little bit. She's happy to stand out from the crowd.
And I think there's a sexuality and sensuality to the way you guys design. I think it shows in your clothes and your presentation, just like kind of all that you do.
We want to create clothes that when you put it on, it gives you everything that you want to be. You need to feel sexy, but you need to feel beautiful. And I think you have to have all those elements.
Now let's backtrack a bit. What was it like growing up in Cape Town?
We're probably more South African than we are Cape Townian.
Okay.
Because everyone asks where we live, and we always said our Tambo Airport. It's going somewhere all the
to different
time.
spots, yeah.
But what we've done in our business is we've also created homes where our stores are, so that we can, so everywhere is home.
And you have stores in Cape Town, Joburg, and Pretoria as well too.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between all those three places? Because everyone's like, oh my God, Joburg and Cape Town are two different places.
And it's so true. I think it's like two different worlds completely. It's amazing. I mean, we do the same collection every 2 months for both cities, but the way we interpret it or how we would style the windows are slightly different because we've got different clients in each city.
So is there a misconception to those who haven't been to South Africa before, that you sort of want to draw people into your world? Like, those in America or in London or wherever it may be who are like, oh my God, Africa.
In Africa, we're very happy to be who we are, to be individuals and to be proud. And if we love colour, we'll wear colour. And if we love sequins, we'll wear sequins. And if we love Chanel, we'll wear Chanel. And we don't have to apologize for that. And I think the rest of the world can learn that lesson. You know, why should we apologize? Just be who you want to be.
But I think, you remember when we did New York Fashion Week and with all the African designers that went from Africa to New York, and it made such a statement. I mean, New York itself, I mean, the amount of people that came to interview our girls, that was, you know, just our staff wearing our clothes every day, was unbelievable because there was a different element to it. It was refreshing. I think that's what it is because, and that's what's missing. That's what they're looking for, and Africa's got it.
I think we love being African designers.
And I'm very proud of being South African. Well, South Africa and Africa, I think African design is so diverse, and it's not just leopard skin and beading or Ankara fabric. There is so much available, so many resources available, but I think we also have that, and I think that's what's really nice, is that we can bring our own perspective to what the world perceives as African and what we perceive as African.
Now, is it easy sourcing fabric other than sort of like the silks and, you know, like designing your own different kinds of fabric? Is that easy in South Africa?
I mean, fabric is out there. We love fabric.
Yeah.
And so we search everywhere. We go into, you know, old stock rooms and look for vintage pieces. We look at fabric in different ways where we'll use fabric that isn't traditionally used for clothing. We'll make it into clothes. We source from overseas. I mean, everywhere we can. I think fabric is the thing. It's also to set yourself apart a little bit. There is this sense that the fabric stores, everyone has the same, you know, access to the same thing.
Yeah.
So again, it's about being a designer and looking at it and interpreting it in your own way.
So you've collaborated with Bliscos, I believe it's about a year now. Why, I guess, was it sort of important as South African designers to take this viscose Dutch wax fabric that's been known in West Africa as the African print?
So someone once told me that to be a designer, you have to look at the world and reinterpret it in your own mind. And I think that was one of the things that we loved about Blisco. There's 160 something years of experience. They've got the most incredible, sophisticated history of print. And we wanted our chance and it was, I suppose, not so much of a challenge, but the challenge of being able to reinterpret it in our own way.
Now, you talked about African products. I'm a huge fan of Yazwara.
Yes.
And you stock that in your store here.
Yeah.
How did you guys sort of, you know, meet Swati, who's the
gorgeous lady behind the brand?
Gosh,
she's actually been one of our good clients, and she actually came to us one and said, listen, coffee is such a big hit. Tea needs to be the same. And she really did a lot of research into it and went into Africa and developed these incredible flavors, actually named after every African continent and or city. And it's so beautiful because it's really taking you on a journey in itself, but also the way she's done it is, it's not just a beautiful smell, a beautiful taste, but she's also developed the candle, which you can have as in your home. But then also the packaging is so gorgeous. So as a gift, it's gorgeous, but you almost just want to buy it for yourself and just keep it wrapped always. But it's so divine.
I think the thing that stands out for us is the quality, that she hasn't compromised on quality in anything that she's done. She wants to do a really high-end African product.
How do you balance creativity and commercialization? Is that where you guys sort of tussle?
You know what? I absolutely right. I think firstly, being two designers in one brand helps a lot because you sort of feed off each other, and the one will say this and the one might not agree, etc.
Now, you're both formerly trained designers.
Yes.
In South Africa, or sort of?
Me, South Africa.
Okay.
And Malcolm actually, very lucky enough, and I'm jealous, went to London at St. Martin's.
St. Martin's, yeah. So in Cape Town, you have the Cape Town Fashion Council, and also you've been involved in the L Rising Star, which is sort of a mentorship for young designers as well too. Why is it important for business or the creative industries in South Africa?
For me, I remember being a student, being a new designer, and I needed everything and the rest of the world to tell me as much as possible, and I was craving it. And other designers who are experienced, you can get as much advice from as possible. And I think that's what the council provides, including maybe competitions like the LRISE and so, etc. And being involved with that is amazing because we can give what we've experienced the last 13 years in our business. And I think it's so valuable because it's almost more valuable than studying in a sense because it's reality and it's what really happens in the world.
I also think as an industry we have to grow the industry, and so unless you're organized with a council that works, it's difficult to get to the next level, and again we are so far removed from the big centers that we need to be on the ball. I also think giving back is quite important, and to sort of educate the young, not educate, but to share your experience with the young designers. But I also think there's a sense of it goes the other way around too. Young designers have their own experience, and they can give you some. So we must be careful never to be caught up and set in our own ways. We've got to learn from what's coming through the ranks too.
So for those of us who are in the diaspora and we're searching for whatever that something is, how do we relate to coming back home again, connecting with home, living at home again?
I think Africa's spreading to the rest of the world. I think Africa's coming to you. You can't pretend to be what you're not. If your experience is urban America, then live it. Because I think the cliche of you can take the person out of Africa, but you can't take the African out of the person, I think is really true. It is a spirit that lives within, and I think that's why we can be white South African, and you can be Christian African,
so many hats,
American, whatever it is.
Today I'm Nigerian, tomorrow I'm American, tomorrow I'm black.
But how fantastic!
I think you can. You don't have to pigeonhole yourself.
So for those of us who are trying, what messages can you give us? So just the world, your customers, your clients, just anyone about just life and pushing through.
I think with the fast pace of today's life, you have to adapt. Exactly what you were saying. You have to adapt with the rest of the world. You have to be constantly on top of it. So that's one big thing, I think, especially in the creative industry. You have to always be the best because you're only as good as your last show or as your last meal or whatever you do in the industry. But for me, a big lesson that I've learned was, and it was actually Malcolm that taught me. He said to me, I was selling a dress to someone, and I said, "I'm so sorry, I couldn't find the crystals that I wanted." And he says, "Don't apologize. You need to believe in what you do, because if you believe in what you make and do, other people will, and then they'll buy into it." And it was a huge lesson for me. So you must make the best, and no apologies, because the customer don't care. And you have to just keep on going. And then, of course, like we live, eat, sleep. I know it's a cliche, and everyone says it, but it's true.
It's true.
You have to love it, and you just have to keep on going.
And so I say thank you so much. Like, it's truly an honor just to sit here with you. Like I said, I've been sort of like following your work for a while now. So it's nice sort of like sit here in the space
It's such
and in
a
your
big
world.
pleasure.
Oh no, thank you.
Really.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And that's it for today's episode of Eye of Africa. Special thanks to Christian Gabriel and Malcolm for hosting us today in their beautiful, amazing store here in Cape Town, South Africa. I hope when you guys come to Cape Town, you come and visit this beautiful, amazing space. And until the next episode, bye-bye.